In this video, I'm going to talk about the labs that we're going to complete in AP Physics this year. So if I click on the link here for AP Physics, you'll see that our labs are fondly referred to as gauntlets. And before I start here, the whole concept behind the gauntlets or the tasks or labs in physics is to make predictions. We're going to use the physics equations we learn in class on paper to make predictions in the lab. So we can see how those equations work under different circumstances. In this video, I'll use an example of a cart accelerating down an incline at different angles, which is one of your actual tasks. So you'll see that there are various videos. There are accompanying videos for each of the tasks that give specifics on the data table setup, the lab setup, and whatnot. So I'll click on this first link, and these are all your gauntlets. It's a 20-page document, and all the gauntlets are on here. But what I'm going to concentrate here is on the first page. So for each task you're going to complete, you're going to do a couple things, outlining A through E here. The first is to create a physics model. Basically, you're going to complete a homework type physics homework problem for the physical situation in hand. In this example that I'm going to use, it's going to be a cart accelerating down an incline. Use the basic equations, basic concepts to derive an acceleration equation. And for this example, let's say there's mass as a factor and the angle of the incline is a factor. You're going to create an equation for that. Next, you're going to create an electronic version of it, a Google spreadsheet model that's a mini computer program that basically takes your equation with the 2 or 3 variables and allows you to quickly test with different inputs. So for instance, your model may take mass as a parameter and angle of incline and then quickly calculates the new acceleration as opposed to you having to do it by hand on your calculator. This allows you to quickly test multiple situations, which is what you're going to do in the lab. There's a complete video on this that you can watch after this one that shows how to set this up. Next, after you've tested your model, and you can test it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times to make sure it's correct, then you can call me over for a physical demonstration or an official trial. I'll change a parameter. I'll say let's change angle to 45 degrees in the incline, and your model, your Google spreadsheet model, when we type in 45, should predict an acceleration rate, and then we test it and see if it works. And typically I give you a window of plus or minus 5%, depends on the actual task. If that works, you get your full 100 points. Successive attempts earn fewer points, but keep in mind you can test your model as much as you want before an official trial. So you have the ability to make sure everything's intact with your model before you come over for an official one. You explain your results, how everything works, and there are debrief questions. I'll go down a page here to the next thing. Some debrief questions you complete, typed up, handed in, and here's the point breakdown. And this shows you what needs to be turned in per student and per group. So again, the gauntlets are a series of tasks you can complete. Go back to the gauntlet tab. And once you complete a task, task 1, you can move on to task 2. During the semester, you can check your point status by clicking one of these links. It shows your name and your points. So if you complete everything, all your points are there. If you've only completed parts of it, they're there. So you can keep track of your gauntlet status. So that, in a nutshell, that's our the labs for this year for AP Physics, the gauntlets.